Some shows talk about one team. Other shows barely talk sports. This show will talk Packers, Brewers, and Bucks every day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Fifer, served up by Wendy's on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Download the Wendy's app today.
Welcome in. It is Wisconsin Sports Daily, live from the 1250 AM at 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook here at the Milwaukee Broadhouse in Shorewood. Come on out, say hi. Again, right here on Oakland Ave. Can't miss us. And again, lots to do out here, including drink and eat, obviously. And the cool thing out here is we're out here because of Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Make sure to stop out and have one. I mean healthy. When I say they're healthy, probably healthier than most other things that you get, right? Baseball calls for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, made with real iced tea and real vodka. It's refreshingly smooth and easy to drink with no bubbles to fill you up. It's the perfect game day sipper. It kind of is the health part, right? Plus, each Sun Cruiser is only 100 calories and 4.5% alcohol, making it perfect for anywhere your watch party takes you. Check out one today. Let the good times cruise Milwaukee. So, good stuff out here. They do have shuttles running. Now, their shuttles start 2 Brewers games 2 hours before first pitch. They run up till the second inning, coming from Shorewood at the Milwaukee Broadhouse to American Family Field and back. Shuttles stop running once the park's cleared out. The parking lot's cleared out. Obviously, there's nobody else to pick up, so they stop and they stay here. So this is a place if you want to take a shuttle and hop on. This is where you want to do it, Milwaukee Broadhouse in Shorewood. Plenty of stuff to give away as well. Stop in, say hi. And as you heard right there before the top of the hour, major announcement coming up tomorrow. We're going to lead the show with it at 2 o'clock. We've been saying for the last year, we're building this thing brick by brick, trying to build this thing up. Well, if brick by brick is the foundation, now we're going to start adding levels to the house. That's what we're talking about tomorrow. Major announcement tomorrow on the Fan at 2 o'clock. Definitely going to want to tune in for that tomorrow at 2. Joining us now on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. He is at American Family Field. Joining us on video on YouTube. Of course, search for the Fan Milwaukee on YouTube to watch all of our live streaming action on YouTube. Catch our shorts, our videos, all that fun stuff available. There he is, the smiling, happy Andrew Wagner joins us. His hair is combed. Looks just marvelous right there. Yeah, model for the ladies a little bit there, Andrew Wagner on YouTube. Mr. Wagner, how are you today?
We're okay. Did you? I love the Broadhouse. Scotty Schaefer, the proprietor, one of my oldest friends in Milwaukee. Great shuttles. Highly recommend. If you're on the North Shore, that's the place to hop on. And I don't get paid like Sparky, so I'm just saying that out of sincerity. But I got to ask, did you fumigate that place after Bart Winkler was in there stinking up the joint?
No, actually, he smelled really good. Yeah, he did. He smelled really good. There was no issues with any type of stench with Bart. You've drank at the Broadhouse, I heard. That was a rumor I've heard.
My go-to was the 3rd Street location because I live like 2 doors away from it.
Yep.
I crawled out of the Broadhouse many a times. I mean, it's like literally the best beer in town. You know, two tap beers for one all day, every day. Wednesdays 3 for 1. And they had Schlitz on tap before anybody else. So, you know, loyalty, yo.
Loyalty from Andrew Wagner to the Broadhouse. Again, we're out here at the Broadhouse. Shorewood, come on out, say hi, hanging out till 5. The time he works out here at the leadoff show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, from 5 until 6:30, getting ready for Brewers Angels first pitch for that one. I heard conversation earlier in the day today. We brought it up on this show in the first hour, and I'm going to bring it up now for the 3rd time since we've been on the air to you. Is there a big difference in your mind if this team is the 2 seed versus the 1 seed? Meaning, as of now, it's Mets-Dodgers. Mets knocked you out last year, so there's that bad taste in your mouth. Dodgers are uber loaded with talent, even though they're not playing like it. And then that other matchup, as of right now, Cubs and Padres. Cubs mean lots of fans from Chicago up here. Also means Brewers fans at Wrigley. I think we're going to balance it out. I don't think it'll be completely one-sided like some may think. And then the Padres, they're one of the teams I kind of worry about, man. Like, there's just something about that Padres team where I'm like, hey, man, if they get hot, they can get on a run. And you play the Padres next week in San Diego prior to the season wrapping up. So there's going to be that recency bias of, man, we just saw these guys. We know what we're dealing with from opposing pitchers and that type of stuff. Because both 1 and 2 are going to buy. So, I mean, from that perspective, there's not a difference from that perspective.
No. Before I answer that real quick, because I just got the text message from the Brewers, I just want to go through the medical update real quick, if that's all right with you.
Sure, absolutely.
So just to give everyone the update here, Deal Hall is scheduled for a 15-pitch bullpen session today. They're still looking at getting him back in early October. Nick Mears, he is recovering from thoracic muscle tightness, He's thrown 2 bullpens so far without issue, and more important, the recovery has gone okay. He could be back maybe late next week. Trevor McGill, still recovering from that forearm flexor strain. He had mild soreness after his last live BP session, which was a couple days ago. He's getting checked out today. They pushed his estimated return back to late September, so that's going to be a bit of a bummer for the Brewers. And then lastly, Jose Quintana, he's been dealing with that calf strain after his last outing. He is going to play catch today to gauge his availability for his next outing. So that's the quick rundown. We'll get to that. To go back to your question, I don't think it matters, Sparky. I really don't. Listen, no matter who you play in that first round, 1, it's going to be a good team, and 2, you're going to have to win 3 games out of 5. That regardless. The Brewers are matched up against pretty much everybody in the National League playoff field in dominant fashion. The only team they don't hold the tiebreaker of right now is the Cubs and the Padres, who, like you mentioned, they play next week. I don't think it matters. I really don't, because the Brewers are a good team. They are right now the best team in the National League record-wise. Their job isn't going to change. They've had success against all these teams. I've heard the argument. I just don't think it really matters.
Let's talk about these pitching updates that you just had, the medical updates. Okay, let's play a scenario out. Let's say McGill, who's now pushed back to late September, let's say he's not ready, right? Whatever. He's not able to go. Uribe obviously is the closer. It appears Nick Mears might be ready, so he's going to be in the bullpen. Canning obviously is still in the bullpen. There's the looming thing hanging from the tree named Jacob Mizorowski and what role they put him in, starter or reliever. I talked to Vinny Rottino yesterday, FanDuel Sports Network, Wisconsin. Vinny Rottino's like, hey, man, he's going to the bullpen if it's me. He pitched on the bullpen a little bit.
Happening.
See, but that's the question, right? So you're going to have 3 starting pitchers, I think, in the NLDS. I don't think you need 4. So if that's Woodruff, Peralta, how is it not Priester? He's pitched deeper in the games more consistently than Woodruff or Peralta at this point.
I agree with you. I think there's a good chance that Jacob Mizorowski could get left off that first round roster.
Left off.
If they were going to move him, to the bullpen, they would have had to have done it already. Because listen, here's the thing. Yes, he did it last year. The guys in the minor leagues that they shift over to the bullpen, the reason that they'll send a guy down or they'll start is because those guys are still pitching on a schedule. They're still pitching. They know in advance what day they're going to throw, because for these young guys, you're so used to just pitching every 5 days, right? So you have the routine of, all right, I pitched yesterday. Today is my recovery day. The next day is my bullpen day. Then there's my prep day. Then there's my throw day. There is a structure to it, even in the minor leagues when they're transitioning a guy, because there's a tendency for a guy to go out there and try to rush it, try to push it. He doesn't know how to get ready for his new role. So if they were going to do that with Miz, I think they would have had to move him to the bullpen already. So then the question is, like you said, you only need 3 starters in that first round. Do you carry a 4th just in case? Do you start Miz over Priester and then use the opener gambit? I just don't. There are so many different scenarios that could play out with him. And one thing that I think we've left out is there is the possibility that he could be left out of the first round roster and save him for the longer series.
Ruined my day. Ruined the rest of the week. Just absolutely.
Did I silence Steve Sparky Fifer for 3 seconds?
It's horrible news. That's absolutely awful.
I don't think it's horrible news.
Bring Charlie in here.
First of all, what have you seen from Jacob Mizorowski his last 6 starts that make you think he's going to be a dominant force in the playoffs? He has a 6.4 ERA. He has a 6.4 ERA since coming off the IL.
Yeah,
you don't care.
That's great. But I'm not asking him to pitch 5 innings. All I need him to pitch is an inning. That's all I need. I don't need 5 innings. I don't need 6
they
innings.
do
I
that.
need one damn inning.
Maybe they do that. I'm saying is there are a number of different scenarios at play, and a lot of them have to do with what happens between now and then. And I don't think it's completely ludicrous to think that in a short series, if you need a proven arm, you're going to go to a guy that's been there and done it before and save Miz for maybe game one. If it goes 5 games, and you save him for game one of the NLCS.
Okay, this is the thing. You just said 6 ERA, and then you want to pitch him in the NLCS on the next breath? What?
I'm going off what you said. Like there's any number of scenarios that can play out, and they can't even. That is like number 79 on the list, and they're still trying to figure out 1 through 78. Like these injuries, like that's going to determine more than anything how the roster is going to look. If these guys aren't ready to go, that's going to have more of an effect on what the playoff roster looks like. It's going to be more about who's available than who's in.
Sorry with Andrew Wagner, Forbes Sports, Brewers writer. We go inside the clubhouse here, brought to you by Focus Baseball. The fall mini camps going on right now. Get your kid involved as soon as possible. ASAP, baby. Go to focusbaseball.com. Again, focusbaseball.com.
Does Focus have programs for bar softball players, old softball players, do you think?
No, but you know what? That is a great idea. I think we should come up with that. I think that should be something, because I think it would probably be a good idea to do just that at this point, is to have some type of fall like softball, beer softball guys, or maybe late winter, early spring before it starts, to get everybody back into shape and stuff. Have y'all running hills and doing stuff like that to get your endurance back up after a year sitting in the bar having beers all winter and putting on a couple of pounds. I think that's a good idea. I want to get back to this.
You sponsor us on 1250. We don't only promote your business, we help you grow it. There you go.
Maybe you play for Focus Baseball. Maybe maybe they're your sponsor and you play for Focus Baseball. Yeah, nice. I don't think that's a bad idea at all. I want to go back to this ludicrous Mizorowski thing. So I just got a letter from Bob Uecker, and he said, "Don't let them do it, Sparky. Don't let them do it. Make sure Miz is pitching out of the bullpen. He throws 102 miles an hour. Love you, Spark, Bob." I'm just saying, like, if we're gonna listen to Uecker Magic and play the Bob Uecker letter game, I don't think you can go against Bob Uecker wishes. Do you understand the PR nightmare and the pressure that will come on Mizorowski if they leave that kid off of the divisional round and then come back and say, "Oh, he's good enough to start in the NLCS, though, and now we're going to run him out there in the NLCS"? That would be a complete fiasco.
First of all, it's interesting that you use the phrase PR nightmare after the reference that you just made, because you know what? If there's anything this team is not good at, it's PR. Goodness. You talk about shooting yourself in the foot. I mean, you have Mark's comments in spring training, and
they meant well. They meant well with the Uecker thing. They meant well. It just came across.
No, I honestly listen about throwing 102. Doesn't matter how fast you throw if you're not locating it. And right now, he's not locating it. His secondary stuff isn't there. This guy, right now, if I'm in charge and I'm looking at it, my trust level of him in a make or break situation isn't there. I don't see it. The way that he has pitched the last couple of weeks is nothing like the way that he pitched those first 7 starts. And I'm not talking about the no-hit, shutout ball. I'm just talking about the way that he pitched, the way that he came out and he located his stuff. He attacked, he sequenced, he had command of all of his pitches. He's not doing that right now. And even more important is your control in relief work, because you only have a short opportunity. And if you're coming in a playoff game in relief, chances are they're all leverage situations. So right now, do you really, truly, with what you've seen the last, whatever it is, 2 months, however long since he's been back, with just that body of work alone, do you trust Jacob Mizorowski with a postseason game on the line?
Yeah.
I don't think they do at the moment.
Okay, fine. But I'm just telling you, if there's no Trevor McGill, and you have, and we'll bring Charlie in on this, I want his take. If you got Uribe, Koenig, hopefully Nick Mears, those are your 3 on the back end, right? Nobody trusts Grant Anderson, probably. Well, at least I don't. I know what his ERA is, but I'm telling you, I don't have a lot of faith when he's out there, right? So who are those other guys that are going to be that guy at the end of the bullpen? For so long, it's been Uribe, Koenig, McGill, and you were good. 7th, 8th, 9th, you're fine.
Why don't you have faith in Grant Anderson, who's been good all year but has struggled more recently? I mean, it's the same basic premise.
Because he doesn't throw 102. That's why. Simple. He doesn't throw 102. And I'm sorry, 102 up here is hard to hit. His movement of coming inside like this late, that changeup, like when he is on, it's unfreaking believable, and he's going to get whatever he has to get out. Now, I realize if he walks the first guy, okay, maybe we have to get somebody up because he may not be on that night. I understand that. But when he is on, he's going to beat anybody in baseball. I don't care what 3 hitters you put up there. He's going to mow him down and take him out for 1 inning. I'm not asking him to pitch 3 innings. I'm asking him to pitch 1 inning. I'll take Mizorowski over anybody in that bullpen outside of probably Uribe at this point.
I guess. Listen, basically, we have to sit here and wait and see. We're playing a bunch of what ifs, and no one knows. No one knows what's going to happen with, one name that you didn't mention, Bob Gasser. I mean, Bob Gasser is going to come up, and he's probably going to
come up. Is he going to be on the playoff roster?
If he continues pitching, yeah, I could see it. If he's shoving down there in relief work, he's probably one of he's about as good. He's not quite as hard throwing, but he's pretty hard throwing. He's a 100-mile-an-hour guy from the left-hand side. He's already in the position of being shifted in to relief work. And let's face it, he's going to be about as fresh an arm as you're going to find. I think he'd be really valuable on this postseason roster. That would be a huge pickup to have a guy like that.
It would be a huge pickup to have a guy like that if they're able to make it work at the end of the day. Gasser right now, 2.55 ERA in 10 starts to this point, 38 strikeouts in 35 and a third innings pitch. His whip is over 1 at 1.10 as we sit here today. But to me, that would be great if they decide to go with Robert Gasser, and that's the way to go. Fine. I would have thought, to be honest with you, that he would have been brought up by now, pitching out of the pen and getting ready, and that has not necessarily been the case.
Yeah, and well, Gasser has been pitching out of the bullpen. His last couple outings have been out of the bullpen.
Correct. I'm saying up here when we're talking about coming up here, doing it up here is what I'm saying. Right.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I got confused there for a second.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm just so
that's my thing. Like, how long are you going to wait till you bring him up? Are you not going to bring him up and go, oh, hell, hey, welcome to the clubhouse. You know some of these guys. You're in the playoffs now. Go have fun. And same thing with Mizorowski, right? So if you're going to put him to the pen, which maybe they're not going to have on the damn roster, but if they're going to put him in the pen, why wouldn't you have him in the pen next week 1 or 2 times out of the bullpen to get into that flow of pitching out of the bullpen? That's what makes me think you're going to be right.
I think Gasser's rehab is up on Friday. I got to double check. Yep. Yeah. So, we could see him this weekend. Who knows? The way the Brewers flip and flop their relievers, you never know. I mean, they don't have to make this decision for a month. Less than a month. It's 3 weeks now, because I think when does it start? The 10th. So a lot can happen between now and then. And with the way things have been going, it's almost fruitless to try to speculate because you just don't know. You just don't know until you get these guys back.
I really thought, Charlie, that when he came on today, it was going to be a nice, joyful, happy conversation. I'm at the Milwaukee Broad House in Shorewood. Everybody's happy. We got shuttles to and from the game. And he literally sapped all of the energy out of me for the rest of the show. Like, I'm just completely deflated. I hope Tommy Wirtz wasn't listening. He may have crashed on the way here. I mean, that's horrible.
There's nothing that brings me more joy than crapping into Cheerios of the American public.
That I believe, right? And somebody told me you like giving.
Why? What would wake you in all the years you've known me, and you've known me longer than just about anyone that I'm still legally allowed to have contact with? What would make you think that we would have a pleasant, happy conversation that would leave you in a good mood?
I didn't think there was anything you could say that could irritate me. Like, the Brewers are playing like 500 baseball, okay, but Seigler's gone, so there was nothing to talk about with Seigler, so that makes things a lot easier for you and me. So I just thought it was going to be a nice, casual, nice interview on a nice, beautiful Tuesday. Brewers, Angels tonight. Expect the Brewers to win this series against the Angels. Everything is good. And then you bring this whole Mizorowski, maybe he's on the division roster, and ruin my day. There is Andrew Wagner smiling, mission accomplished. You're a jerk. There he goes. Happy, happy. Tell Wags we said hi when you see him out of the press box out there at American Family Field. He joined us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all.
You okay over there?
Nope.
You gonna survive?
Nope.
Still got a whole hour and a half.
I don't know what I'm going to do if he legitimately is not on the divisional roster. Like, if you're another manager and you're facing the Brewers, any one of them, and Miz isn't on the roster, aren't you like high-fiving in your office? Like, hell yeah, we don't got to worry about that kid. Like, to me, it would be the most idiotic thing we've seen yet if they don't have that kid on that roster.
I think to Drew's point.
And then to start him in the NLCS, I don't trust him out of the bullpen, but we're going to start him in the NLCS. Come on.
To Drew's point, it doesn't feel like he instills that same kind of fear that I think we saw when he first came up into this league, and he did have those no-hit kind of performances. And even the next 3 or 4 performances after those first 3, it felt like that all of a sudden this past few months, people are just viewing him as a rookie starting pitcher, not as this all of a sudden phenom like we saw earlier in the year, not like Paul Skeens like we were comparing him to. What we've seen is a young player still figuring it out at the MLB level. And I don't think that a team like the Dodgers, a team like the Philly, even a team like the Mets look at a guy like Jacob Mizorowski and are as afraid of him as maybe even a Brandon Woodruff at this point.
He is Charlie Usen, C. Sparky, Fifer. It is Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. We are out here in Shorewood at the Milwaukee Broad House. Again, Brewer shuttles running out here. They start 2 hours before first pitch. They go all the way up to the second inning. Then, on your way back, they keep going back and forth to the parking lots are cleared out. That's a beautiful thing, right? So hop on the Brewer shuttle out here at the Milwaukee Broad House in Shorewood. Come on out, say hi right here on Oakland Ave. Lots of time before you come join us. Tommy will be out here. Tommy Wirtz from 5 to 6:30, the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. And again, we're out here thanks to Sun Cruiser, vodka, iced tea, baby. Do it up, only 100 calories. I have a couple of those while you're out here at the Milwaukee Broad House as well. It is Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. Live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Time now for your fan weather forecast, and it's a absolutely beautiful day outside, right? 77 degrees, sunny skies out here in Shorewood where we are at. Looks like clear skies for the rest of tonight, and a low of 59. Welcome back, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's out here at the Milwaukee Broadhouse in Shorewood. Come on out, hang out with us on Oakland Ave, brought to you by Sun Cruiser, Vodka Iced Tea, and it is the way to go. I said earlier, maybe a little bit healthier because we're only talking about 100 calories, 4.5% alcohol, makes it perfect for anywhere your watch party takes you. And again, baseball calls for Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea as well, made with real iced tea and real vodka, refreshingly smooth and easy to drink, no bubbles to fill you up. It's the perfect game day sipper. So come on out, stop by, say hi. We'd love to see you. Mitch Thunder Nellis will be coming up in the next hour. Charlie Sounds of the Day still to come. Coming up here in the next 10 minutes or so. Green and Gold update brought to you by the Potawatomi Sportsbook at 4. Ryan Horvath from BetMGM tonight, formerly The Fan. He'll join us coming up at 4:20. Lots to talk about with him between pro and college football, so looking forward to that. And, of course, Tommy Wirtz is out here with the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook from 5 until 6:30 today, getting you ready for Brewers baseball. Hop on one of the Brewer shuttles out here as well before and after the game. Perfect way to get yourself to and from the game. Okay, so I'm going to try and get myself away from what Andrew Wagner just said, because if I continue to talk about what Andrew Wagner just said about the possibility of Jacob Mizorowski possibly being left off of the divisional series, I feel like I'm going to get sick to my stomach, Charlie, and I don't think I want to get too sick at this point looking at this. I will say this, that are there younger guys that have had more success pitching on other teams that are younger, right? So Miz pops out to that super quick start and throws what? He's like no-hit baseball. What was it? His first 2 starts, Charlie? Is that what it ended up being?
Yeah, his first 2. It was pretty insane how phenomenal he was right from the get-go. But again, I think that was before people really understood the type of pitcher he is. It seems like his stuff is almost getting a little stale now. It was so exciting at first, and now other teams are starting to figure it out.
So a couple of guys that make sense that you may see in the postseason that have, quite frankly, been more consistent than Mizorowski has been since they've been called up. Cade Horton obviously is one for the Chicago Cubs. The other one is Nolan McLean for the New York Mets, has been absolutely dominant since he's been called up. Talk about Yu Darvish. He's been a guy that's given up 2 or 3 runs a game for the Padres. Imanaga is another guy when you look at him and what he's done. He's given up 3 runs in his last 4 consecutive outings. 3 runs in his last 4 outings. Now, again, they're considered quality starts, right? Because he's went 5 innings, 6, 7 innings. But that is not a guy, in my mind, Charlie, that you necessarily fear at this point when we start talking about what you have to deal with when dealing with the Chicago Cubs. Cade Horton, more successful, more consistent at this point. But then you look at the Milwaukee Brewers and what you have right now in Woodruff and Peralta and, again, Priester. I feel like the Brewers match up pretty well against any rotation they may see.
I think so, too. And I think when you compare it to the Chicago Cubs, a guy like Cade Horton, for them, has to start like probably game 1 in the playoffs, unless you want to go with Imanaga, which I don't really know they want to at this point. Again, he just hasn't looked right since he came back from that injury. I think you probably have to go with him. With the Brewers, you have so much range with what you can do. I don't think there's a single team that can truly prepare for what the Brewers are going to put out there, because it really could be a mixture of any 3 guys in that starting rotation and then a mixture of any 8 guys in the bullpen. It really is that crazy what the Brewers are able to do going into the playoffs here, which is part of the reason why I don't think it really matters whether it's a first-round bye or not a first-round bye for them. They just got to go out there and play the ball that we know they can play.
You know, that's the other part about this, too. When we talk about where we are with this Brewers baseball team right now getting ready for the playoffs is, can they get hot? And if they're not hot when the season ends, you get that break, that bye. You know, can you find that mojo, that rhythm coming off of 3, 4, 5 extra days and find that euchre magic again once the postseason starts? I think that is the biggest question mark. So many times in sports, we've talked about it a million times, the hottest team going into the playoffs is the one that ends up winning the thing. And right now, when you look at baseball playoffs and the history of baseball playoffs, it seems to be true almost every single year, Charlie.
Well, and I think you can really compare it to what we have been seeing in the NBA as well. I think both these leagues are in similar timelines at this point, where the NBA, you saw a team like the Indiana Pacers just go on this run that I don't think anybody really expected them to go on to get to the NBA Finals, while also going up against a team like the Oklahoma City Thunder, who just had this meteoric rise this past season to be one of the best teams in the league and take it to an NBA championship. I think you can see the same thing happening in the MLB a lot of the times too. When you get teams like the Mets, who nobody really believes in going into the playoffs last year, and they just make this incredible run, or the Arizona Diamondbacks the year before that, it really is anybody's game when it comes to the postseason. So you have to take any little advantage you can going into the postseason when you can.
Charlie using over there, Steve Sparky Fifer here as we talk about this Brewers team as we get ready for Brewers and Angels. Make sure to catch the shuttle here from the Milwaukee Broadhouse in Shorewood as it gets ready to take off 2 hours before the first pitch, and then it goes all the way to the parking lots are cleared out at American Family Field. A great place to come hang out before and after the game, or maybe you don't have tickets to the game. Maybe you're not going to the game tonight. Come here, watch the game at the Milwaukee Broadhouse in Shorewood. Great place to do that as well. I want to switch gears here a little bit before we get to Charlie's Sounds of the Day. Charlie, do you have a theme to Charlie's Sounds of the Day today, or are we kind of all over the place?
We're a little all over the place. I think two of the sounds are connected, but the other one is not.
Okay, fine. I want to talk about this a little bit. And on Twitter, I say it all the time. I save so much stuff on Twitter from time to time that we don't always get to everything at the end of the day. This is something I found interesting earlier today before we get to Charlie's Sounds of the Day, and I don't want to do it in the last segment because I think Thunder's going to be here. Do you know Kirkland, the brand Kirkland?
Yeah, that's Costco's?
Right.
Yeah.
They have combo dealed a deal with Nike to have shoes now going forward.
Interesting.
It is the Kirkland signature Nike SB Dunk Low Pro QS Gray Fog shoes in time for the holiday season, $130.
All right. That seems a little expensive.
People
for Costco
want to
shoes.
wear Costco shoes for $135? Like, there's not an athlete attached to these things.
Well, and if this picture is real, those are
You
ugly
see it, right?
too. Yeah, I do not like those at all.
I saw the Kicks Finder tweet, what was it, earlier today, last night, whatever it was, and I saved it. I didn't realize there was a growing want to wear Costco shoes. And I like Costco. I shop at Costco all the time. Big fan. All the little food samples and stuff that you get. The kids love eating them. But that just tells you that we need to have Nike fan shoes. I want some custom Nike shoes for the fan. Blue, black, white shoes, right? And away we go. Maybe they're the Mason Crosby kicks or whatever with the fan and go from there. Maybe have Crosby's picture on the side of the shoe or something.
All right. I like that. I don't like these shoes. I think this is more not really people want Kirkland shoes by any means. It's more that this is the fashion trend going on right now.
What's the fashion trend?
Where different companies partner with other companies and they try to make these collabs all the time. Like Nike just also released, I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but you have kids around my age as well. So growing up, I watched a show called Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Do you know Ed, Ed, and Eddie?
No.
Okay. It was on Cartoon Network. It's a cartoon, but they just released it hasn't been on air for 15 years. I don't know.
Cartoon Network is mainly all adult cartoons, right?
No, it's all kids cartoons, and then they go to Adult Swim at night where they
every
do
time I've
cartoons.
turned it on, it's been like adult, but probably it's because it's at night when I flip it.
Yeah.
So okay, fine.
But Ed, Ed, and Eddie is a kid's show, and it was off air. It hasn't been on air for 15 years, and they just all of a sudden came up with a collab of 6 of the characters from the show with these Nike SB Dunks. So I think they just kind of come up with anything they can think of and release it and hope that somebody will buy it. It's kind of crazy.
Well, I want to see $130.
That's a lot.
I mean, if you're going to Costco, you're going to Costco to save money.
Right.
If you're going to Walmart, you're going to Walmart to save money. If I wanted to spend a bunch of money, I'd go find a shoe store and go spend a bunch of money, right? I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how many people buy it. But I'm telling you right now, because I know our general manager, Jason Bjorson, is listening, I want fan Nike Dunk shoes. That I think would be cool. Blue and black, right? That whole deal.
We could each have a signature pair. I think we could.
We could each have a signature pair. Each show could have a signature pair. That goes along with it. I think, Jason dreams big. He's got big visions, big plans, all that stuff. Let's pull off the Nike fan shoes that we can wear. I don't want them as giveaways. Let me clarify. Y'all don't get them. I want a pair for myself. Charlie gets a pair. Tommy wears. We all get our pairs. I want to hog them. Maybe that'll be a end game with Nike if they can't sell them to anybody.
All right. Well, I think we can make that happen, Sparky.
Jason knows people. He's probably tight with Phil Knight. I don't know. Speaking of Jason and knowing people and all that stuff, major announcement tomorrow, 2 o'clock here on The Fan. It is, like I said before and I've been saying throughout, we keep saying brick by brick. That's what I've been saying since we started this thing last year in March when we relaunched this thing. I'm telling you right now, tomorrow it's level by level. We're done. The foundation. 2 o'clock. You are not going to want to miss it. Tell everybody that you know that tomorrow, 2 o'clock, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, to be here to hear that announcement tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Speaking of Wendy's, let me tell you all about Wendy's Classic Chocolate Vanilla Frosty flavors. They've been around for a while, right? Well, there's some big news with the Frosty line. They're all new Frosty Swirls and now Frosty Fusions. Same creamy treat you've always loved, now with a flavor refresh. So, what are these new flavors? Okay, well, we got the Frosty Swirls, strawberry, brownie batter, and caramel. Now, again, I'm telling you right now, brownie batter is my favorite. The caramel swirl is amazing. Also very good. And strawberry is good too. The Frosty Fusions, Oreo brownie. Now, again, you can get the vanilla or chocolate base with the fusion. So you essentially pick vanilla or chocolate. Then you pick the swirl flavor that you are going to go with this. So the Oreo brownie is that brownie batter with chunks of Oreo. The caramel crunch is caramel with chunks of toffee in the Frosty. And Pop-Tart strawberry Frosty, amazing. So clock in for sweet treat time with Wendy's. All new Frosty flavors, a refresh on a classic. It's got to be Wendy's. Check it out today. You will absolutely love it. I'm a big brownie batter fan with the Oreos. Absolutely delicious. With the chocolate ice cream, if you like chocolate, it's the way to go. Charlie, sounds out the day, brought to you by Prize Picks. Straight ahead here on Wisconsin Sports Daily. Served up by Wendy's. Live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook out here at the Milwaukee Broadhouse, Shorewood. Come out, hang out with us on Oakland Avenue. Brought to you by Sun Cruiser, Vodka, Iced Tea. I don't hear anything.
How we doing, folks? How we doing? Welcome back into Wisconsin Sports Weekend, served up by Wendy's, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I am Charlie Houston. Here we are having a few technical difficulties with Steve Sparky Fifer over at the Brat House in Shorewood on Oakland Ave. Go visit him right now. We will try to get him back up on here, but do not worry. I got it covered for you guys while we are waiting for him to come back up here. But while we are waiting for him to come back up here, it is time for Charlie's Sounds of the Day.
What sound clips will Chicago Charlie pick today for Sparky? Will Sparky become enraged? Will laughter ensue? It's time for Charlie's Sound of the Day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's on The Fan.
All right, like the big voice lady just said, it is time for Charlie's Sounds of the Day. Usually during this time, we got Steve Sparky Fifer to react for us, but I can react to my own sounds. I have a lot of opinions about these as well. Starting off here on Charlie's Sounds of the Day, this is a guy that we've heard a lot from over on MLB Central, MLB Network. It is Mark DeRosa. He has been a big fan of the Milwaukee Brewers as we go into the playoff mode here for this team as they start setting up their roster for that and what kind of expectations we have for that roster with this Milwaukee Brewers team. Mark DeRosa, kind of fittingly, was discussing Jacob Misiorowski and his expectations for the rookie going into the playoffs compared to other rookie pitchers also potentially going to be in the playoffs here. Here is Mark DeRosa on MLB Central.
But if I'm getting him at all his powers, give me the Miz on the bump. Give me 102, no think. Just driving it right down your soul. 5-2 with a 4.35 in 13 starts. He was 2.45 ERA in his first 6 starts, and it's bumped up. He's 6.16 in his last 7. But stuff plays in October. So if he's right, I know McLean and Cade Horton can certainly have an argument to be number 1. I'll still go with the no think right at you.
The no think right at you. I think when you are throwing 102 miles per hour on a consistent basis like Jacob Misiorowski can for this Milwaukee Brewers team, that is a huge deal when it comes to the playoffs because, like DeRosa is saying, their stuff plays. And McLean and Horton have been phenomenal, have been more consistent than a guy like Jacob Misiorowski at this point. But at the same time, when you are in those high intense moment situations, I think people are trying to over expect on pitches like 102 mile per hour fastball, like the slider that we know he can throw that can be so dangerous for any player that has expectations for what Jacob Misiorowski is going to do. And I think that is the one thing he has on those other guys is that he doesn't have those same kind of expectations set up now. And I think when Drew was talking about it earlier with Sparky, he was saying that this past couple of months has not been the same Jacob Misiorowski that we've seen, but I think that can come into value for a Jacob Misiorowski at some point here, that hopefully as he gets into this kind of playoff mindset with the rest of this pitching staff, if the Brewers give him that opportunity that we think he deserves going into the playoffs here, he should be on every round's roster. It should be an easy decision for a guy like Pat Murphy, for this front office to see a talent like Jacob Misiorowski and say that raw talent can help us in the playoffs. No matter what round it is, no matter who we're playing, whether it's in the bullpen, whether it's in a starting role, Jacob Misiorowski has that type of fire in his arm that you do not see from just anybody. And I think that is a huge deal for this Milwaukee Brewers team and why I think it'll be important that they use that moving forward here. Next up on Charlie's Sound of the Day, right here on Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, we are going to head over to Baseball Today with Trevor Plouffe and Jolly Olive of John Boy Media. The guys over there do a great job. Definitely check out what they do over at John Boy. Great partners with the MLB, and they always are doing great talks on shows like Baseball Today. This is Trevor Plouffe and Jolly Olive discussing whether or not the first round bye is worth it to a MLB team.
Do you really want to have the bye? What are your thoughts with clinching this early and then receiving the first round bye? Do you think it is that important, or do you think it actually could be to their detriment to have this time off?
I really need one of these teams to go on a run. because I need people to respect the bye and want it again, because there, like you said, there is kind of a shift in terms of how we view it, because the past 2 years, the 6th seed in the National League has gone like on some crazy run, and year after year we're seeing the teams with the buys get knocked out in the first round. And I do think the buy is valuable. You get to set up your rotation the way you want. You get to give guys who are going through wear and tear, valuable days off that they probably need. There is the other side of the coin, which is, when guys get 2-3 days off, something as small as that can throw them off the rhythm of the day-to-day rigor that is baseball. But at the same time, like I refuse to believe in my sports brain of any sport, not just baseball, that there's no inherent value or even detrimental value in having a bye.
I don't think you can really go back to history and say, yes, it's better, or yes, it's not better. There's two things that I think are detrimental. For a hitter, you might feel good getting 1 day off, getting your body back under you, but having like 3 or 4 days off without seeing live pitching. Now, I know they're facing live BP and doing that, but not game situation stuff. It does get you out of whack. Some guys are able to come back and be fine. But I think overall, if you ask a Major League Baseball player, like, hey, man, as a hitter, do you want these 4 days off? They'd be like, no, I don't. And then there is something, Jolly, to be said about like playing in these games where you're under pressure every single day. Like you harden a little bit. It's like getting calloused hands. Like, it might hurt at the beginning, but eventually like those calluses come and you're better off for it. And I think that is kind of what we've seen. Some of these wild card teams who they're playing these games like their playoff games during the season. So there are arguments for both sides here. I don't know what we could do to make the bye more attractive.
Why do we need to make the bye more attractive? I think how it is set up right now for the MLB it is a good thing. I think some teams like the Los Angeles Dodgers, like the Philadelphia Phillies, even the Milwaukee Brewers, from what we've seen this season, I don't know if the bye always 100% helps them. Like I said before, I don't know if it always 100% hurts them either in a situation like the Milwaukee Brewers are in when you don't have those expectations. But I think the one thing that Trevor Plouffe and Jolly Olive are talking about here, and that they're missing a little bit with some of these wildcard teams that are making these types of runs in the playoffs the past few years. Again, the New York Mets, the Arizona Diamondbacks, who both went on crazy runs the past 2 postseasons in order to get to the NLCS, and in the Diamondbacks' case, to get to the World Series, is that I think they just have a certain hunger to them that these teams that do get the first round bye, I guess, don't really have a hunger, but are trying to run away from the hungry teams all around them. And when you have a league that is so full of parity like the MLB is at this point in their iteration, again, before I said the kind of timeline that they're on here, feels like there's a lot more teams that are able to go out there and make a difference when it counts. And Sparky put it right earlier, if I'm being completely honest, when he said that it's the hottest team going into the playoffs. And those are usually the hungriest teams going into the playoffs. Right now, what I fear with this Milwaukee Brewers team is they don't look like the hungriest team in the league right now. At the same time, the last time we saw them go on a crazy run was when they got a week break, when they were at the All-Star break, and they came out of that looking like a completely new team. I think for this Milwaukee Brewers squad, I'd rather have that bye because we've seen the evidence that they do benefit from having that type of break. If they come out, though, and aren't looking the same like they did out of the All-Star break, let's not freak out completely, because this is still an extremely young team, and that things can change over the course of the season, including how injured this Milwaukee Brewers team has gotten to this point and how many injuries they fought through and gotten back from. I think those are all extremely important things to pay attention with this Milwaukee Brewers team that I don't think benefit teams like the Los Angeles Dodgers or the Philadelphia Phillies at this point. And because of that, the Milwaukee Brewers, I think, need that first round bye more than those other teams. Again, not because it really has any inherent advantage or detrimental disadvantage. It's just that the Brewers have shown that they can benefit from that better than anybody else in the league. Last up here, we're going to head over to First Take on ESPN, where Marcus Spears, NFL insider and former NFL player, was discussing Tom Brady being too involved with the Las Vegas Raiders, as he was pictured in the booth last night on Monday Night Football with a headset on next to Chip Kelly, the offensive coordinator for the Las Vegas Raiders. Again, here's Marcus Spears.
I hate it. It's abhorrent for me, for his job. I love it for his team. You 5% owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Sit wherever the hell you want to sit at the game. if you want to be on the sideline with a headset on. Go be on the sideline with a headset.
The Colts owner is.
This should not happen with him being a commentator of NFL football games. It actually questions the integrity of the NFL. Now, teams have to be smart and not divulge information when he's on a call, because at some point the Raiders are going to play the teams that he's sitting in on these meetings. And I don't know if anybody knows, and you know this, there's information shared when you have these pre-production meetings for games. There's plans that coaches have. There's guys that they tell you to be on the lookout for how we'll use them. So I hate it from that standpoint, which is why the league tried to implement things prior to this becoming an issue with Tom Brady being part owner of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Gotcha. All right. As we listen to Marcus Spears here talking about Tom Brady being in the booth last night next to Chip Kelly of the Las Vegas Raiders, the one thing that kind of runs through my head a little bit with this whole situation is why do people care so much? And I kind of feel this way about the Carly Ursay-Gordon situation, where she is down on the sideline with the team, and they say, oh, it's so overbearing. It's not what they're supposed to be doing. They're not supposed to be that involved, especially Tom Brady with his situation with broadcasting as well for Fox. But the NFL comes out and says they don't really have a problem with what he was doing last night. Him being in the booth, having the headset on, does not denote that he has any involvement. Now, the problem is Tom Brady has involvement, and everybody knows he has involvement and that he is sharing this type of information. On the other side of things, this is still the Las Vegas Raiders. Geno Smith hasn't looked any better because Tom Brady has been in the broadcast booth. He's actually looked like the worst quarterback in the league so far, starting quarterback in the league, which is not a good sign for them. Ashton Genty hasn't really been able to get going. That defense is more lackluster than I think people expected it to be going into this season. And Tom Brady, is still wearing a headset, and it's not changing that much for the Las Vegas Raiders at this point. And for so many people to be so upset, for Marcus Spears to go out and say it's abhorrent, it's just beyond me, when there's so many other things that I think ownerships could be doing. I think you look at the NBA right now and Pablo Torre exposing Steve Ballmer and the LA Clippers and all the negative feedback you're getting from that is beyond what the sports should be. And what Tom Brady is doing is being an owner, and Fox still hired him to be a broadcaster. He's doing both his jobs. And I don't think you can blame him for that. If you don't want that to happen, blame the NFL for allowing it to happen at this point, because this is what they want. They want him to be as involved as possible because it's Tom Brady. Who doesn't want Tom Brady to be that involved in their league? When he was playing, he was the main reason a lot of people were watching football. So keep him around as much as you can. And for you to blame Tom Brady for that, or be mad at the Las Vegas Raiders for allowing that, or be mad at Fox for allowing that, doesn't really make sense. And I don't really think you can blame the NFL all that much for allowing something like that. This has been Charlie's Sounds of the Day right here on Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We do have Steve Sparky Fifer back, so when we come back, it'll be time for the Green and Gold update right after this next break.